We're all familiar with Sentinel Hammer Side Sig. It's a pretty good move. You jump forward with a good amount of distance, you leap into the air so it's hard to punish, and the hitbox in front of you is quite generous. But now with an experimental feature, you can go a lot further. That means all of a sudden this health range where the Side Sig simply won't knock out becomes a lot scarier if you charge for even just a fraction of a second. So that's what we're diving into today. Is this new Side Sig completely and utterly broken? For any of you super old heads out there that have been watching or subbed for a while, you'll know that Sentinel was actually one of my original mains. He's the character I won my first ever tournament with. So to see him get updated, to see him get some new techniques like that where I can just safely land on the platform, it feels pretty damn good. What also feels pretty good is queuing into a Valhallan opponent quite immediately here, so we can see the power, we can see the techniques, some testing out of these this new signature, and see if it's really effective. But I love Sentinel. We'll see if that love translates into securing a knockout here. Okay, I was getting a bit custom there. I was getting a bit fancy. They're probably gonna fade with Sayers or something like that. I'm gonna do this double charge, and I'm safe. Like, they couldn't punish, because the distance is pretty crazy on this. That Side Sig has seen better days. For example, before Dash was in the game, it was a lot better. The reason being that you couldn't escape those types of scenarios as fast or as quickly, or have a vertical. I kept trying to dare, and it was a bad idea. But basically you couldn't escape as easily. You're caught up in lag for a lot more things, a lot more moves. And so when you have something, I don't know, that's not the fastest in the game compared to some other stuff, I can see why there's a bit of power creep there. But I don't know about this one so far. Also, you can do some interesting movement there. If I held that, maybe it actually would have hit. But there's Z pivoting on this signature. I'm gonna die for this. So what did I just say? Oh well. This is the problem. I see shiny new object and all I want to do is press the big button when maybe it's not the best time to do it. But you can see the distance that you get on this. Leave me alone. The distance that you get on this is crazy. Look at that. I'm going from platform to platform here. There we go. The speed at which the second jump launches you is quite good, and this is also coming off the back of the other Side Sig, that one getting buffed with a big hitbox. I didn't even make a video talking about that. I was going to, but now we can do both at once. Both the Sentinel Side Sigs got pretty huge buffs here. This one also Z pivots. You'll notice if I dash and then go, okay, dash and then go in the other direction, I'll do like a big leap forward like that. It's very strange. Few moves do that. A Suri as well. I talked about that in one of my ranked videos recently. That move spikes. I don't know. Sentinel Sigs have always been very fun. It's just interesting that, I don't know, recently maybe they haven't been the most up to date. So this is likely an attempt at remedying that. And you can see, once again, I mean, this is a large jump. If I do it off stage, the distance that I'm gonna get from this, do you see how far out that is? Imagine you're edge guarding with that, someone gets hit. I don't know, they're dying in maybe yellow. It's quite crazy. We'll see if they recovery here. Or not, they'll do a Side Sig maybe. Maybe that was meant to be a recovery, because sometimes you can get those strange inputs. But I do want to see if I can get this Side Sig to KO, because I did sort of just spam it in the last match. Look at that range. I don't know. That type of repetitive, let me get hammer here. Repetitive, predictable usage, probably not the best against someone with over 100 ranked wins, top 50 in the region. But even so, a new Sig is a new Sig. I will say, first usage, first impressions, there is something that I really don't like about this. And not only is this my first impression, this is the first time I played with the other Side Sig too. I don't know if I mentioned that in the last game, but I maybe have not touched Sentinel in like a year. So this is all a bit fresh to me. I don't like that the indicator for when you get the Side Sig charge, because you know a lot of these moves like Fate End Sig, for example, on the, that was bold, I don't know what I just did, but Hammer Sidelight when you GC lifts you up a little, so that's how I escaped there. Fate's End Sig on the Scythe, for example, it has a little indicator and it has a little noise to let you know when exactly you get the different version, the big tree. Rayman's Gauntlets, I mean, those are probably the most obvious example. You get a big shine. This, you just smile for like a frame. I don't know if you could even see that, but you see my facial expression change to a smile here. That's it. And so some kind of big spark is definitely needed. Visual clarity, audio clarity. It's a test feature, so I understand why they don't have it yet, but that's like 100% needed for something like this, because to have an alternate Sig variant, also I was just like trying to figure out what my Sigs were. I was just standing still there. You need that. You 100% need that. So that's gotta change for sure, for certain. And I'm sure it will if this ends up getting put into the game, but yeah. We'll see if I can use this to recovery back to the stage, because that distance is absurd, and I don't know, I mean, people are gonna obviously get used to this, but that's a good amount of, okay. Also, the hitbox, excuse me, sorry, expands quite a bit in front of you and above you, which is good for recovering, because if someone's trying to evade that, what's happening to me right now? What's happening to me? Help me, help me! I think I'm getting a bit lost in the sig spam sauce here. We can all say we've done that before, you know. Okay, talking about getting lost in the sauce. I don't know what happened there. I'm shocked that didn't kill. I guess they were barely in the range to do it, but like, we're playing a different game right now. I don't know what it is, but it ain't Brawlhalla. So let me get back, because I don't think, if we're being real, I've played even a single game of Brawlhalla so far. What I do want to... like... Okay. Okay. I was gonna say what I do want to achieve before the day is done is hitting a side sig way off the map and just seeing it kill in yellow or light orange or something, because that it seems like that's just what's gonna happen based on the force values that we've encountered thus far. And I've done pretty good about not getting hit yet this stock, so I'm gonna try and keep it that way. I hit myself. What makes this sig different from Rayman's, I believe, is you can't GC Rayman's to get the charge version, but you can with this. Check this out. Like, you get the double off of the GC. I mean, I guess I've shown it a few times in the last game, but... Oh, if I didn't chase dodge, I did that by accident, and then... No, I got you. You know what we have to do here. Let me get rid of this one. Let me catch this one. And what do we do here? I'm gonna drop down and then just do it. You see how I dodged the weapon throw too? This is a good move. Since I spent the first bunch of games here, just discovering new things, figuring out what exactly this move does, being a demonstration man, and then somehow evading that, I don't know about that one. Let me share with you a little bit of a funny anecdote in this meantime here when I'm fighting a Magyar. I'm doing the same thing twice there because I'm just hoping they jump into it, and they got 10 defense, so they're gonna downlight or sidelight, dash and sidelight. Basically the same thing range-wise. I wanna share with you something funny. I traveled to another part of the country recently, and I went to a museum. It was a science museum, and it was talking about life. I was about to get down here, talking about sciencey stuff. And one of the things about life was human reproduction, you know. And I don't want kids. I don't want them to get the stupid gene. Now take two. See? And basically there was a wall of materials, and this museum is kind of made for kids. So there's a lot of like demonstration interactive activities. And one of the things was like a prop wall for things related to contraception. And one of the things on the wall related to contraception, with some other things that I don't know if YouTube will allow me to say under educational purposes. We're just gonna make sure it doesn't happen again. Like, you know, yeah, you see why I'm playing it safe here. And I promise I'm not being facetious here. One of the things on the wall, alongside all of like the actual proper stuff, was a gamer headset. So you can draw meaning from that if you wish. I just thought it was so funny. It's like there's all these like really like good information and like proper products. It's just like a Logitech G40. So yeah, I don't know. Anyway, I said that I was supposed to start playing properly after those last few games, and I absolutely have not done that. But can you blame me? This game was like wacky anyway. We can start playing proper Brawlhalla after this one, after I get this. Imagine though, I get the charge side. How did No, explain that one to me. How did that one go backwards? Cause that wasn't me. I looked like a chosen bot there. Please there. It's a crazy sig. It really needs some kind of visual or audio cue, some kind of spark that's like a pew, because not only for me to be able to tell, but for my opponent to be able to tell. That's more important, honestly, for visual and audio clarity of all players. Part of that is certainly the charge time is just different than the other characters with that kind of mechanic. Like I mentioned, Rayman, you can't even get it off a GC, if I'm not mistaken. I tried to save them, but maybe I need saving. Yeah, Rayman's, you cannot get the big long limbs off of the, I guess it's not limbs, it's just hands, it's just appendages off of a GC. Just test that one in training mode. And then for Fates, it's like, even if you can, it's a giant Q. It's like a big like, and Sentinels does not have that. It literally just has a smile, which who's even looking at his face? You know what I'm saying? You gotta look at the hitboxes. You gotta look at where everyone's going. So that is an absolute must. If this gets added into the game, like that is non-negotiable, non-questionable that has to be a feature. And okay, are they dead? No, I beat it. I was just surprised by the bounce angle. I don't know. I'm gonna GC right here. bro. We're good. Yeah, that has to be taken into consideration. Also, because you jump up, you can get on stage like that. Like, I don't think they thought I was gonna get back onto the map there because I was well below it. So that's a funky mechanic there. And then if you miss the read, you can charge it just a hair longer and go zooming, go flying. I don't know. Cassidy's is also a move that got the altered charge version recently, which I think is pretty cool, you know, giving old characters the new life. I don't know about this one though. The timing is really strange, and maybe it's just a me problem because I'm just so used to other characters having it be different, but look at that distance. That is crazy. I don't know, I feel like you should have to charge it just a little bit longer, just because the distance that you have to be for this to avoid this, like the normal versus the charge version, it's such a different range. I feel like they should give the opponent more time. And then you can mix it up too. Like sometimes I'm not gonna do the charge version like that, but they probably thought I was because I've been doing it the whole time, but then this time I will. So it's a bit of a mess. So do I ever follow my word? Because how I've just been goofing this whole time anyway. And that's also something you could do. But let's have maybe one proper stock in this game where I'm actually trying to incorporate this move into my gameplay properly instead of just being a bit of a dummy. Like right here, for example, living, where maybe I wouldn't have been able to otherwise. That was you know, I'll give myself props there. That was pretty good. Dare, no dare, but maybe, please. Oh, I jumped a little too high, but you saw the vision there, and that's worth something. That's worth something. Ah, I gotta start playing. I don't want to accidentally kill with anything else. I'm just gonna. So that was the normal one, and then this will be the chart. The double chart. I'm doing it again. I'm doing it again. Just help me out. Help me out. Help me out. Help me out. Don't kill me. 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 Bah. Okay, we're good. There's a couple things we should be considering when it comes to this new side sig, and that's force and distance. Because I believe when the Qatar one was changed, it was only a hitbox, and it was only a hitbox to be more vertical, maybe a bit more horizontal, but ultimately not the largest change in the world. Whereas this is a whole nother component to an existing move, and that's a lot different. I don't mean to riddle you with physics or anything, but force and distance, like you can tell, is a big consideration there. How far away was I from them when I started that move? All I did was like jump forward, and the amount of height I got, maybe that was a bad idea. Not only just my movement height, but the hitbox height, right, is also pretty large there. On top of the horizontal stuff, which is more obvious, perhaps. I don't know how to feel about it yet. I'm gonna be real. It seems really good. Like, it seems really, really good, especially considering you can do a Z pivot movement like that just to be weird, which you can see pretty clearly works way better when I actually do it in proper play than just doing it over and over on stage. Here's where I'm landing with this thing so far. I really like it. I think it's really great, and I think it's fantastic that Sentinel's getting some updates. It is much needed, but there's a few things I would change. I've already mentioned this 3 times, but some kind of Q is necessary, and I think maybe because you already leap into the air, because you already cover a lot of distance with the move already, maybe you should have to charge it a bit longer to get this alternate version, because the amount of distance or the amount of commitment that you're putting in terms of the charge time is pretty ridiculous, right? Like, it's pretty crazy, man. I even read that ground pound. I just did it a bit too early. Also, if you want to see a fun little Sentinel mechanic, not the most practical, but it's fun. I should say not the most generalizable out. It is still practical in certain situations, but just not, you don't want to do that all the time, right? Because if you miss, you're going to send them up when you could just ground pound or Sair or something in a similar spot. But something that I do want to see if I can get away with, though, because this map has a big hole in the middle of it, we'll see if I can do like one of these and then just leap across the stage. Yeah. I should have Saired. I was chasing them too far out. You know what I do wonder? What if I can catch someone on the wall like that? You see what I'm saying? Like if they're just hanging out on the wall, we'll see if they... Bit too damaged. But if I can do some kind of cheese, right, where I fake that I'm going for an edge guard and then just leap back onto the stage, I'm a little scared I'm about to die here. Something like, oh wait, you can't do it with the dash. I guess something like this. Yeah, you know, he's got some stuff. You know what I'm saying? This new side sig opens up a lot of possibilities. Did the sound just play 3 times there? Like, what's going on here? I don't know. But I think I should still be fine. Look at that hitbox. That's a bit absurd. Like that, you see what I'm saying by like, maybe this move is a little broken. Maybe it's a bit much to be able to get away with only charging it a tiny bit and then being okay. Because that coverage is crazy. Official egg moop impression here. How did my end light hit and then how did that down sig hit? I think it needs to be tweaked. Like, I really like it, but it definitely needs a couple adjustments before it goes into the live game, is what me thinks. Oh, I tried a GC down sig, but I hit the wall by accident. Once again, not the most practical in situations like that, but maybe hitting them up there is what I did want. You know what I'm saying? Like maybe I was feeling a bit gooftacular in that moment. So I don't know what's going on. I'm just okay. I was concerned I wasn't gonna be able to get a weapon to get the bomb knockout, but yeah, no, sure. I do want to have one proper Sentinel game after this one, because I feel like I've been doing y'all Sentinel players a disservice. Like, how often, realistically, do you get a video out here in these here parts? And I've just been goofing the whole time. So after this one, we'll have one proper game, and I'm gonna spot dodge and then down sig. That was really close. I'm gonna do it again. Like I gotta stop. Let me just end light into reverse end sig, and if maybe it's not happening. Maybe it's not happening. Okay, we're fine. No, I promised. This is gonna be a good one. It's gonna be a good one. It's not gonna end weird. It's not gonna end bad. It's gonna be okay from start to finish. All right, ready? And we begin now. Okay, maybe not from start to finish. Please. So as long as we end good, it's okay, right? Like, the start to finish, we already knew that wasn't happening. So at this point, it's just I didn't dodge back on stage. I'm worried about myself. I'm worried about my future, but who isn't? You know what I'm saying? Who isn't? We got one stock to make up for all the faux pas in this video. So I waited for the dodge there. That was good, and then I waited for a dodge there, and ooh, I thought I was about to get downlighted, but I think it's not happening. So I noticed they weren't dodging there, so I punished right away. Now this time, if I hit an end light, they're gonna dodge. I just hit my spacebar. They're gonna dodge right away if I hit an end light. Just you wait. Just you watch and learn and listen and get your thinking caps on. I was so wrong. It takes a big person to admit when they're wrong. You know what I'm saying? And I'm a small person, so that's big of me. That was a crazy read though. Can you imagine? Catch. I tried to catch it. This was supposed to be the good game. This was supposed to be the good one. Just. Oh, then we get Scythe. No. It's like he drops the ball in the end zone. You know what I'm saying? He had control of the pace. He had control of the tempo. He had the momentum. He had map control, and then he throws it all away to pick up a flying boomerang. That's like gonna put him in a bad position. So, you know what the actual issue was? No, we can boil it down to something more concrete here. I didn't use the side sig, and it's like problem solved. You know what I'm saying? Problem solved. So, maybe problem created too. maybe a bit of a problem created. Oh well. Nah, but I'm cooking something here. I'm cooking something here, and you don't know. You don't know. Because obviously I didn't either. One good stock. That's all I asked for. I'm very good. Side sig or end sig or yeah, that was we knew they were gonna attack at a hit stun out of there. Side sig right here. It's like I just gotta get in the game. You know, I gotta get in this. Up. All right, this is a mess. I think maybe I should just accept that it's a mess no matter what, you know what I'm saying? And then I fell off the map, so I couldn't recover, and they didn't dodge in. I thought they were gonna dodge in. Like, all I gotta do is just pay attention, like, for half a minute, and then I'm not, like, on mega autopilot. Like, all of the, no, I got owned. All of the issues in this video are just stemming from me doing stuff without thinking or realizing. And if I just look at the screen and at what my opponent is doing and I punish properly, it all goes away. Like it all goes. I was gonna do the charge and I realized I didn't have the amount of momentum to get back to the stage, and now I'm dead. So what? I did it.